Well, it's nice to be back here. I just got back from Walt Disney World in Florida, where I narrated the birth of the baby Jesus at their candlelight processional and did not get hit by lightning. Symphonies the local musicians play. They provide the soundtrack, and all of these amazing kids sing. It's really fantastic. And the pastry folks made me a welcome home present that consisted of gingerbread characters, Mickey and everybody, in my present sweaters, in the present sweaters of today. And these are the guys that made everything. And it was really great.
How cute. How do you pack that home?
We put it in a box, and then I get it home, and then I spray it so I can use it as a display next year, because you know you don't want to eat it.
Yeah, because it's so beautiful.
Because it's all everything on there is chocolate. There's nothing.
Spray it with?
I spray it with like a polyurethane to keep it from you know, decaying.
Yeah.
And so it becomes another thing that sits for Christmas in the house.
Cute.
It's really nice. Yeah. It's really nice. So it's nice to be back. I missed you all. I brought you socks.
Yes.
Yes. And a Christmas ornament.
Really
well,
nice.
Because feet. Well, this is another, you know, I was obsessed this year with Santa Claus.
Women
getting it done.
It takes a real woman to get it done in one night.
And they're very shocked to discover that, in fact, Santa is a girl. Is a woman. So it's really nice.
Those elves.
You can get them at Zappos if anybody's interested. There are some job opportunities right now that no one seems to want to fill. Replacing White House Chief of Staff John Kelly. But reports say that they're scrambling for a replacement that is fake news, because according to Individual One, who tweeted...
You got a new name for it now? No more you-know-who. He's now Individual One.
And he says, many, over 10, are vying and waiting for the position. Why wouldn't someone want one of these truly great and meaningful jobs in Washington? The question is, do they want the job in Washington with you?
Yes.
That's the question. I think lots of people would love to have this gig. I think it's that the Individual One, it might be the issue. I don't know. What do you think?
Look at what the Daily News has. The Daily News has this thing, help wanted. Spineless, clueless flunky to serve as chief of state. Responsibility, keep cell phone charged for early morning tweet storm. Required skills, fluent in Russian. Integrity preferred, but not required.
That's exactly the problem and why people wouldn't want that job, because one day he's the person's perfect for him, and the next day you wake up and he tweets, you're fired, you're spineless, clueless flunky, and the worst chief of staff I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's a thankless job, and you have to be a yes man or a yes woman when the job is never supposed to have been that. Really, you serve to help the president and to be sort of the go-between between the staff and people coming to his office and the president. And if General John Kelly can't do it.
Spicer, what happened to him? Where is he?
Well, but he was
last
never
I
chief
saw
of
him,
staff.
he was hiding behind a tree, remember?
Yeah.
Where
Well,
did he
he
go?
was never chief of staff. You know, he initially, Individual One didn't want a chief of staff.
Right.
Remember, they had to sort of say, no, you actually need somebody.
Because he's his own chief of staff, really, right? I mean, he doesn't listen to anyone.
Yeah.
I know when John Kelly was appointed, I'm thinking, you know, he's this 4-star Marine general. He will be the adult in the room. But it's clear that they clashed, that Trump did not listen to him. And honestly, he came in with this wonderful reputation, and I think the administration actually tarnished that reputation.
I don't agree with that, actually.
He had a lousy
General John
reputation.
Kelly, I think General John Kelly still has a fabulous reputation based off of
no,
the
he doesn't.
career
Well,
that he
let me
served
say
this
this.
country.
That was fine then.
So anyone that works for President Trump has a bad reputation.
No,
Is that-
If I can finish what I was going to say,
Okay.
then maybe you would hear me. You know, John Kelly, when he disparaged Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, lied about her, and then refused to apologize, I thought that didn't look good on his reputation. He endorsed the controversial and short-lived policy of separating children from their immigrant parents in an effort to deter illegal
Well, if you want to
crossings.
talk about children, he
defended
gave a
wife
child for our
abuser,
freedom.
Robert
His
Porter,
son died in combat.
He defended
I mean,
wife
if you want to talk
abuser
about
Robert
children,
Porter. He called Robert E. Lee honorable and said the Civil War was due to a lack of compromise. So when I look at all of the things that he did during the administration, that's what I will remember him for. I'm not saying everyone, but that's what I will remember him for, especially when he disparaged a congresswoman, lied about her, and then refused to apologize.
I just think it's weird to be clapping. Whatever you think about his politics, he lost a son in combat for freedom. And again, clapping in that way, again, your call. Everyone can interpret him differently. I do think there are some things that precede politics, and I think service and being in the military and losing a son and being part of a Gold Star family is one of those things.
But
I agree with the turnover rate.
You can be both things at the same time.
I have a hard time clapping for
well,
him in
clapping.
general. Everyone can do whatever they want. You can do whatever you want. I'm saying for me, it makes me uncomfortable. I also want to say that Trump's turnover rate, yes, is high, 62%.
Right.
My father's, again, it's not always about my father, but his staff, I mean, his chief of staff had worked for him for 33 years since he was 18. Joe Donahue, shout out to you, by the way. And I will say Obama's was 24%, Bush's was 33%. So the argument that, yes, it is a thankless job is a legitimate one, but the idea that just because you work in this administration and your reputation's tarnished. Now, last time I checked, Nikki Haley's a front runner running for president. She worked in this administration.
What do you mean that Obama was 24%?
He had a low turnover rate.
People that would come in and out of the White House.
People stayed. She's saying people stayed.
They stayed?
Yeah.
Okay.
What I will say, because we haven't talked about it yet, but Nick Ayers.
It was a compliment to President Obama.
I didn't understand.
No, she didn't.
All right.
Nick Ayers, who was chief of staff of Vice President Pence, was apparently the one asked to be the chief of staff for President Trump, and the one that Ivanka and Jared wanted, and they have a big say in these picks. And he said no to it, which was, when I saw that alert on my phone, that was the biggest sign to me that there's concern inside the inner circles of the Pence world and maybe even the Trump world, that you don't want to go down with a sinking ship if that's what's going to happen. You're taking that job at a time when the relationship with the media has never been this low. Dems are taking over the House, and the Mueller investigation's coming out.
But Nick Ayers, he's 36 years old. And he's already made $54 million in political consulting. They pay that much in political.
That's a good job.
Wow.
So he doesn't need to take the chief of staff job.
Wow.
Anyone who runs for office is in bankrupt because that's what they're paying.
That sounds, I don't know.
Well,
but the Clintons made hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, if you want to talk about people making money off of politics, that's a slippery slope for all parties.
The Clintons were the president of the United States for 8 years, and his wife was the Secretary of State and ran for president.
The Clinton Foundation got Saudi money that is highly nefarious, and it doesn't exist anymore.
I guess only Republicans are allowed to make money in this world.
No, not at all. We're capitalists. We actually like when people make money, unlike Democrats.
No, I will say.
That's a good one, since I'm sitting here in a velvet jacket, making a very good living. Thank you very much.
Well, I will say that they gave. No, I don't know if anybody believes in democratic socialism.
Doesn't Joy? I don't.
I do.
Well, we have to have a conversation because I think that's ridiculous. But that's me.
But it depends on what you mean by it. Let's explain.
Well, no, I didn't say it. She said it. Ask her what she means by democratic socialism.
I was always under the impression you were a fan of Bernie Sanders' ideology.
I believe that the poorest people in the world should be taken care of, that the middle class should have a stake.
Don't.
Wait a second. Can I finish?
Go ahead.
I use the model of Scandinavia, where people are taken care of. Their colleges are paid for, child care is paid for. When they're out of work or they're down on their luck, the society takes care of them and gives them a leg up. I believe in that. I do. I've experienced it myself. After I was fired from my many jobs, I was privileged to be able to collect unemployment insurance, for instance, which took care of me while I got my foot up. Excuse me. Which I got my foot up and, I started walking again. And I think that those kinds of things help people. If that's a democratic socialist, that's what I am.
All right. We'll be back.
On the 12 days of you, Miss the ladies gave to me 12 Whoopi sweaters, 11 Abby claps, 10 Megan giggles, 9 Joy, who cares?
Who cares?
8 view your deal, 7 red hot topics, 6 bell pings, 5 Sunny, I love it. I love it. 4 Bernie Barks, 3 Austin hens, 2 Idris smiles, and the ladies wishing you happy holidays. Hottest holiday toys.
Welcome back. Apparently, there's another job that it seems nobody wants, and apparently that's the host the Oscars. They continue to look for a replacement now that Kevin Hart stepped down. Ken Jeong's name has been mentioned. He's here today, and Variety reports they're also thinking about having a no-host year this year.
That's a good idea. Really? It'll cut 5 hours off, first of all.
In fact, well, you know, the funny thing is the show, I don't ever think there's anything you can do really to not make the show long. The show is what it is. People come up and they make their speeches. This is their one shot that they get to do this. And, you know, just because they don't know or you don't know who they are, doesn't change the fact that they've done something that they've been trying to do their whole life.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal to win an Oscar.
Yeah.
And, you know,
It is.
I've always felt that folks didn't understand what it does, you know, because, you know, we don't judge the same way the film-going public does. We're not, when we nominate things, we're looking at different stuff than the public is looking at. The public is going to a movie, they say, oh, I want to see that movie. Well, I'm looking and I'm saying, because I have to judge the actors and I have to judge the film, are they doing what they're supposed to be doing? Is it this, or is this one better? That's what we're looking at. So our decisions feel very different sometimes. Not always, but sometimes.
But the network seems to want ratings for it. They want it to be entertaining all at the same time.
Well, yes.
But
So
also,
it's,
public opinion never seems satisfied with whoever the host is.
No, they have over the years.
Well, in recent years, it seems like every time they have a host, you go on Twitter and everyone's just writing how it's not funny.
But that's what Twitter is. That's what Twitter is. That's why people don't want to do it.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
But how sad is that? Maybe that's our fault.
One of my producers, Stephanie, her brother's a comedian, and they work in comedy, and I've worked with comedians before. I wrote a book with a comedian, and I think comedy is important, as I've said yesterday on the show, because I think pushing boundaries in our culture is always going to be important. And what's interesting is all the comedians that have been asked to host the Oscars or were thrown around, Tiffany Haddish, Donald Glover, Sarah Silverman, Tina Fey, Jon Stewart, Dave Chappelle, Stephen Colbert, they all have problematic parts of their comedy, tweets that they've written in the past. They could come back to haunt them. So what's going to happen? Are we going to have comedy clubs that are like speakeasies, where people are going to be doing this in private and like quietly, where people feel like it's a new kind of safe space?
I think that, you know, we've all overcorrected. You know, gay people don't want to read that stuff coming out of somebody they support. They just don't. It's just like black people don't think these jokes are funny, and white people don't think these jokes are funny, and blondes don't think these jokes are funny. You know, there's a so we're in that mishmash right now.
Well, what do you think the answer is, Whoopi? I mean, there's no host. I think one thing that they're thinking about doing is like using a bunch of huge celebrities, something like
done
SNL
that, and it
stuff,
didn't work.
And it didn't work,
No.
right? So what do you think the answer is? I mean,
a hologram of Bob Hope. That would help. Bring the dead back.
I mean,
He
it
was
just
the
seems to me like
safest.
the host moves it along, and I love the opening numbers. You did it in,
For 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Here's
And
the deal.
The costumes are beautiful.
If you want to go hostless, that's your prerogative. I think it's a dumb idea, because people need somebody to take them through things and to take care of things when they happen. Now, I realize I may not be anybody's first choice, but it's a little insulting.
First choice. I would 100% have
well,
you as
because
first
I'm also
choice.
problematic. You know, sometimes one half of the country, well, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Half of the country sometimes is really mad at me. The other half is okay until tomorrow, and then they're pissed at me.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
You all think I'm a hardcore conservative, right? I endorse Whoopi as the host. So people on my side, please, do not come for her.
I don't think you can do it without the.
I don't think you
host and
can.
the
I
opening
think you
number.
need. I think you need somebody to take people through. I think
so
you do,
too.
and it has to be somebody who loves the films, because when you get films that nobody's heard of, that person who is telling you about that film or saying this is what's coming up has to be able to have the wherewithal to say, listen, you've never heard of this film. I know that, you know that, but you're going to learn something new. We'll be right back. You know?
You can still get a holiday head start at viewyourdeal.com. We partnered with vendors for at least half off some of this season's hottest items. So get there now.
Sonny,
Yes, Whoopi.
you have something.
Yes, I do. No matter where you're heading for the holidays, you can take all your favorite movies with you, thanks to a brand new free app from Disney and other studios called Movies Anywhere. It holds your entire digital movie collection in one place with one password. And today, they're giving members of our studio audience digital downloads of 10 beloved holiday movies. They're really good.
Good. Yay.
I feel like you would love
I think
that.
Elf is in here, which is one of my
wonderful.
favorites.
Listen, I saw a guy with
yeah.
a shirt the other day with a picture from Elf, because one of my favorite lines is he sees Santa in sort of going by. He's, Santa, I know
Yes.
So because that's how people get.
Yes.
But listen, that's one of the 10 greatest. Yeah,
So
I know him.
And he says, "You sit on a throne of lies."
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
It's a wonderful.
Oh, look,
film.
it's a Christmas tree. When he's in the elevator and he presses all the buttons.
Yes,
I love that
it's
movie.
fun.
So
anyway,
my
you know, the
favorite.
media has always seemed to portray Jennifer Aniston as unlucky in love, but she doesn't think she's unlucky. She says even though she's divorced Brad Pitt and Justin Theroux, she considers both marriages very successful. And I think she's right. You know, successful marriages also end in divorce sometimes. Sometimes there are different reasons people get divorced. It's not because you fall out of love, or sometimes it's because you can't, it's not for you. Not, you know, speaking like I know anything, you know.
Sometimes the first marriage is basically a test run.
Sometimes. But
know,
the third or fourth can really be meaningful.
Then you graduate into maybe when you come into your own and you're a more formed person, you can have a better relationship. So I don't consider my first marriage a failure at all.
No.
Also, I was there, and this is what I was doing then. Then I changed and I became this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the way it
Also,
is.
some people stay together just for the kids and they have a terrible marriage. And I actually think I always advise my friends that go through this, be happy, because your kids would be so much prouder of you as they get older, knowing they've made the right decision for them. And it's a happy household.
Well, sometimes you stay for the children.
It's tough.
It's not that simple, especially if you don't have money. You stay for the children and you stay for yourself, and you don't just walk away. Women have trouble walking
But something
away.
I've always struggled with, because I grew up really religious, Mormon, and obviously getting a divorce, you're supposed to be married for eternity, forever.
Now
And
think about that.
eternity. Oh yeah. I could go on forever about getting married in the Mormon church, but the caveat I would say is I struggled with that because the other part of religion for me is don't judge. Who are we to say someone else's marriage is a failure? I always hated that. Leave that to God to do. So I hate seeing Jennifer Aniston saying her marriage.
And I agree with that piece. I think it's a decision for
Everybody.
a very personal decision. My belief system is, you know, you do stay married forever and through eternity. But the one thing, and I don't agree that if you end up in divorce, the marriage wasn't successful. But that's just my understanding. But I thought what was strange was, you know, my friends are all thinking about the one, like the one. There's this one, and there really
Did you just take us to the next subject?
Oh, I did.
I think you did.
Yeah.
But he just yeah.
It's okay. I don't want to talk about my marriage.
We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Ken Jeong, and I'm back at The View where it all began for me. It's true, I was an original host. Back then, I went by the name of Debbie Matenopoulos.
So Ken Jeong helped make history this year in the mega hit romantic comedy Crazy Rich Asians, and now he's trying to figure out which celebrity is the masked singer on a new game show that's messing with his head. Take a look.
You guys keep it going for the aliens. Dr. Ken, talk to me.
Because how good this performance was, and there is an arc, there's growth to it, and because of this confusing, snake-driven clue package, I have no idea who this is. I don't know who I am sometimes.
All right, I got to chill.
Please welcome Ken Jeong. You know, every time you...
Joy Behar.
Yes.
What's behind the mouth?
He can't tell you.
I can't. You're going to have to watch
watch
and find out, yo.
Well, you know, every time you come, we actually take a little bit of possession of you because we feel like this show helped to launch you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. This is back in 2001. I was doing stand-up comedy. The first time I was ever on TV doing comedy. It was the funniest doctor in America.
Right.
And Joy was the judge, and I placed 8th. Now...
You didn't win.
No, I did win.
You did
Thank
win.
you.
I know. So
Thank you. Every time I think about The View, I always reference that. And I was still a doctor working, and it was the most surreal moment of my life. And just to be on
So
The
now
View.
that you're a big success, you don't do like surgery anymore?
No, I don't. I don't do surgery anymore. So I'm Hollywood.
Probably for the best.
Would you?
I got out of Shawshank.
Would you like to do the Oscars?
I'm glad you brought that up. And I appreciate you guys talking about it.
There's
and
no one, no host.
I've heard that, and in my opinion, if I don't get the host of the Oscars, like divorce, I would consider myself a failure, right? It's so important to me. I have to do this. See, I really think I look great. That's a real picture of me. See, thank you. I shifted bodies. Look at that. It means so much to me, guys. And if I don't get that...
Okay, enough groveling. No more begging and groveling. Save it for your wife.
It's so important, Whoopi. You've been there.
I know, that's why I wanted you to say yes, he would be interested in doing it.
You'd be great. And speaking of awards, you were in Crazy Rich Asians this summer, which was so fantastic.
So
you were
good.
so funny in it.
Thank you.
And the film was just nominated for 2 Golden Globes. Yesterday it got 4 Critics' Choice nominations. I mean, what was it like for you to see the film for the first time?
To be honest, when I was at the premiere in LA, and I started crying, and it was such an emotional thing to see, you know, an all Asian American cast in a major Hollywood studio film for the first time in 25 years since the Joy Luck Club, and it kind of like. It was like an overwhelming sense of emotion. We were at the Chinese theater, watching at the premiere, and then you realize, oh, this is a mainstream Hollywood movie. And I was with my wife, and I got really emotional. It's just to quote the director John Chu, he said, "It's not just a movie; it's a movement." And I'm having friends of mine who are Asian American filmmakers and writers, directors. They're getting their projects greenlit by Hollywood with all Asian cast, and it's actually making a palpable difference. And you know, it's not about me at this point. It's just about the community. I'm so happy.
It's so true.
Really
It's made such an impact. I have an Asian American younger sister.
Oh, wow.
And she said, for the first time when I watched that movie, I saw a girl who was like me.
Wow.
And it really, and I think she speaks for probably so many other people that watched that movie.
My daughters too. Yeah, I have 2 daughters, Alexa and Zoe, and whatever her name. Oh yeah, there they are.
So cute.
Oh, yeah.
What a beautiful family. Well, we just showed a clip of The Masked Singer, and you are a celebrity judge along with Jenny McCarthy, Robin Thicke, and Nicole Scherzinger.
Yep.
What made you want to do a show like this?
I know.
A reality show.
I've never done anything like this in my life. It's actually in Korea. It's called King of Masked Singer, and it's the most popular competition show in Korea. And my mom, I'm of Korean descent. This is my mom's favorite show. And so when I got offered the
You're
show,
now her favorite son.
Huh?
You're now her favorite
I'm now her favorite son. I'm her only son, but I'm her favorite son. And she was like, you have to do a show. You have to do a Masked Singer. And I was like, all right, Mom, I'll do it. So it really was because of that. And I watched old clips from Korea, and it was fascinating. And it's an amazing concept. It's kind of out there, but it's got a little bit of American Idol, a little bit of The Voice, a little bit of It's My Line. Right. It's got, it's like This Is Your Life. It's like 4 different genres. It's so much fun. Yeah, it's an honor to be a part of it.
Well, Ken, I told the producers to tell you, I think I'm your biggest fan in the entire world. My husband and I last night were YouTubing videos of you, and on Community, the Hangover series has brought insurmountable joy to my life, specifically Leslie Chow. And I have to know, is there going to be a 4th one? Because I really think America needs that right now.
Well,
Thank you.
As Mr. Chow was saying, thank you, Megan. But right now,
Can you say, but did you die?
I'm
My favorite part of the movie.
But did you die?
Nobody funny. You just.
He literally cracked himself up.
When he comes out of the trunk.
It's the craziest character I'll ever play. It's so insane.
Were you
It's
like this when you were a doctor? Well, you have the same personality.
No, everyone always says like, oh, come, I never joked around my patients. I took it very seriously. They're like, laughter is the best medicine. No, medicine is the best medicine. Yes. Have you ever tried Klonopin? It's amazing.
We're in the middle of the holiday season. You have a new project called Ken Jeong Cracks Christmas.
Yes.
How do you crack Christmas?
Oh, the Christmas is my favorite holiday. I always wanted to do like a Christmas special for my kids who are 11-year-old twin girls, and I got to go around the country and just kind of, like, my favorite thing was actually going to Michigan, and they have the world's largest Santa school, and I met like 500 Santa Claus students, and it's wonderfully emotional because they're like, why did you choose to be Santa? And someone said, no, I didn't choose to be, Santa chose me, and you really...
There's a school for Santa?
There's a school for Santa.
You have to do, Santa has a lot to get done.
Well, I know the elves had a school. I didn't know Santa had one.
But, sometimes Santas need help to, get around.
There's a clip. Sorry, there's a clip of this.
I was invited caroling, and they asked me to get someone amazingly beautiful, vivacious, talented, who is like the best person in the whole wide world that could sing here.
Oh, stop it.
My wife was a hard pass.
Is this your wife's?
Yes.
Ken!
I have 3 polar bears and a gay men's chorus, and that is all I have.
Like, this is it.
Yep.
Don't ever call me to hang out and make me dress up like a freaking idiot. I'm going to go find some wine. Okay. We're going to get through tonight.
You know what? You are always such a pleasure.
Well, thank you.
Always
The
so
feeling's
wonderful
very
to
deep.
have
I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Please make the hangover
January 2nd. You should really watch it because it's great. Ken Jeong Cracks Christmas is on YouTube tomorrow, December 12th, and we're looking at some hot holiday toys next. Ken, will you stick around?
Yes.
All right.
It's 13 shopping days until Christmas. Do you know where your kids' presents are? Relax. We're unwrapping this season's hottest toys next.
Hey, now, it's exactly 2 weeks till Christmas, so if you're still not sure what to get little ones in your life, we're gonna get the scoop on the inside about the hottest holiday toys from toy expert Elizabeth Werder. Hey, baby.
Thank you.
What is this?
Yes, all right, so I'm going to ask that you grab your lizard mask. This is called Tic Tac Tongue.
Sure.
Put it over your face like this.
Sure.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to use your tongue from your lizard, blow in there, and knock down the card. So when I yell, yes, so I say 2, you hit the 2. I say 8, you hit the 8. Fun family game. Love it. All right.
I love it.
Let's become royalty. We'll move on down.
Come on now.
So I'm gonna give you a crown here. We're gonna make you royalty.
My game.
This is a real. It's ciao for you. This is a very fun, special game.
Yep.
We're gonna place this crown on your head,
Sure.
and then I'm gonna push the on button.
Oh,
it's
feels
gonna be your
great.
job as it spins and circles and plays royal music to eat everything you can off the forks. Ready? Here we go. This is Chow Crown. It's from Hasbro. And it's a really fun game.
Come. But wait, there's more.
Bring the lizard mouth. Okay.
Come on, you.
Let's go.
Come on,
Let's
you.
go. We'll
Look
bring
at
it
this.
down.
Wait a
All
minute.
right.
So this is a stuffed toy. This is the one that everybody's talking about.
Yes.
So what do you do?
So it's called Scruffaloves. Now this is we're going to actually bring home a pet and rescue it. So it comes as a little matted ball of fur. Your little ones are going to wash it in a little sink or in their bathtubs. It's eventually going to open up and it'll either be a kitty, a puppy, or a bunny. They'll have to dry it with a hairdryer or a towel. Once they do, they groom it, add on the little clip and a collar, and it's their favorite new pet. They can bathe with it as much as they want. So, yeah, they're adorable. They're called Scruffaloves, and they're by Moose. $19.99.
Oh, nice.
Fabulous.
I love pets and sponges. I
There
love
you
it.
go, all in one. All right, so we love Jurassic World,
Right.
so I'm going to give you some fun. Here you go. Another little trick here. We're going to put this Jurassic on.
right.
Now, this is the Velociraptor mask. We put it on. It's so much fun. When you open your mouth and close your mouth, it's actually going to talk.
But wait,
You hear
what
the
about
sound?
the hands? You need to
Yeah,
you need
so
the
go ahead,
hands.
Put on the claws.
Put on
and
the
with
claws.
the claws on and the mask on, you are a Velociraptor Blue from Jurassic World. We love this. So these are from Mattel. They're so much fun. And yes, the $35 for the actual mask and $15 for the gloves. So, fabulous.
And what is this? This is like one of the best new portable toys. I know that.
Yes, so this is called Popover. Go ahead and explore. This is basically like a slip cover. You put it over an armless chair, creates a fun kitchen environment for
my
your little
goodness.
ones wherever they go. Lots of great accessories, moving and opening parts. So this is wonderful. You can bring it to grandma's,
Oh, my
play for the day,
gosh.
fold it up, put it away, and bring it back out when you're ready. So with your Velociraptor,
He's got it.
he's hungry. He's hungry. He's hungry. So this is called Popover. I absolutely love this.
So all you have to do is put this on
Slide
a chair.
this- yeah,
Any
right over an
chair.
armless chair
That's
in your
kind of
house.
fabulous.
Create a kitchen, so it's
Love
great for
it.
small spaces.
Oh,
so I'm
hey,
going to hand you
yeah,
this.
come here, man.
Have you come over to these snowflakes and look over here.
Ooh.
This is the Xbox One S Minecraft bundle. This is
Oh,
so
my
exciting.
gosh.
So yeah. So Minecraft is wonderful. We take blocks. We go on adventures. 91 million people play this every month.
I
But here's
know.
what's great from Xbox. For $9.99 a month, you now have access to over 100 games with their Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass. So one game can cost $60, but for $9.99, you get the hottest, newest games and lots of great games for the family. By the way, what we built right into this Xbox One S console, family settings, so mom and dad can sit with the kids, decide how much they play, who they play with, and when they play.
I don't want you to
And I
fall.
like the Minecraft dance.
All right. Give me this. Now.
All right, so now for our next toy, I have a very
you gotta
exciting
go over
surprise. So, yes, Star Wars is one of the hottest things out there. Well, this is the Skywalker Land Speeder by Radio Flyer. This has working buttons and lights. It can go up to 5 miles an hour. It's normally $199, but on sale right now for $99.
Oh, great.
And this is the hottest item from Star Wars right now. The kids are going crazy for it.
I love this.
Look how wonderful.
So,
is that Princess Leia over there?
So, you know what I think? I think Santa just made his first stop here at the studio.
What?
Well, hey, Ken, come here for a second, babe.
Be careful.
Oh, don't slip. Come here, run.
Please come.
Run.
Yes.
You have to tell the audience that they're getting everything.
Oh, I just want to say members of this studio audience are going home with all these toys!